I guess the question is, what do you actually want out of this company? I mean, what can they tell you that I think would give you some material comfort here that the stock can go higher on the heels of a 240% run?
Yeah, these are really good numbers. And overall, I think the tape was what most people expected. And in fact, the selling that came after is a byproduct of the fact that everyone expected this really significant beat. When Jensen Huang talks to the street today and shares his thoughts, people want to hear about China. They want to understand that one of the largest markets in the world is in play, and that the silicon that's being developed by Nvidia will continue to be able to be sold into that important market. And of course, how the company is going to split the concerns for geopolitical reasons. And then, of course, they want to understand what's going on with the homegrown silicon. I heard you mention the Microsoft Azure announcements that came from Ignite last week. AWS has spent a decade building homegrown silicon. And I think those lower cost, high performing options, as we see training and inference pivot, could become a challenge. So people want to know how they're going to address that.
Well, let's talk about another big issue in the room right now. We're getting a headline as we're speaking here, Dan, that Nvidia expects sales to China to decline significantly here in the fourth quarter, though the company does say that the decline will be offset by other regions. And this gets us to the idea here that there are geopolitical issues that have nothing to do with how they manage the company that they're going to have to navigate. And right now, you're trying to sort of create, or I guess sell to the second largest economy at a time when the U.S. government doesn't necessarily want you to.
Yeah, this is the problem of every company in the high-tech space. And if you're a chip maker, whether it's Intel or Qualcomm or Nvidia or AMD, they're all up against this. You saw the complexities, what AMAT is going through in the probe. Companies are trying to figure out how to sell into this market. They're probably trying to do it honestly, but of course there's these gray areas. The rules are changing very quickly. And like I said, the market wants to know that this is in play, that China is in play for a company like Nvidia. Having said that, the demand is so significant. And whether it's Azure or AWS, which are building their own, or it's Google and its TPUs, all these companies are doing massive investments in NVIDIA infrastructure. Of course, I do think new competitors are a threat. I do believe AMD's new products, you heard Lisa Su last quarter, I talked to her, she said there's almost 2 billion. And again, this sounds small, but there is real interest and real demand in competitive products. And of course, can they maintain these margins? This margin growth is like something I've never seen before tracking companies like NVIDIA.